Right, hello. Today it's going to be one probably a bit special chassis that's not seen very often, especially in that configuration, which is the Kyosho Spada, the little 112 nitro pan car, four-wheel drive pan car from Kyosho. I bought it second-hand but new, basically from a guy. It used to be the Nissan March. It was not the pan car version, it was the M chassis with the touring wheel version. Had the March body on it, and I didn't really plan to run it as a nitro, but I liked the chassis, the simplicity of it, the fact that there was an axle in the front and the rear like you would have on pan cars. I mean, I thought it was a really special chassis, and so I managed to get this body from eBay, I think from Japan. Those are not that easy to come by, and as you can see, it's sturdy. I'm driving it a lot. I really like this car. It's a really fun car to drive. It's super responsive, it handles greatly, and I'll show you what I did with it. So here you go. It's a bit of a mess. Let's see if I can remove that. We'll have a bit more space visually. So here you are. This is pretty heavy, really heavy for the size of the car. And so let's start with the wheels. So like I said, that was the M chassis, which means it comes all around with 12 mm hexagon, basically touring car or M chassis hexagon, and you just can't put pan cars tires on them, and pan cars don't come with a front wheel drive. So it took me a while to figure out what to do, and Yokomo does those sets of CRT foam when it's just the foam. I think those are for practice or something, and I'm not sure how people, I've seen a couple of videos of how people use them, like cutting them, sticking them on the wheel of a 112 for practice and so on. I'm not sure what they're really made for, but I get them, and so they have two diameters of foam, one outer and one inner diameter. Sorry, a little cut there. And so yeah, those tires come with those foam come with two different diameters, an outer and an inner diameter. And so I used the inner diameter, and I 3D printed those rims, front and rear, that have a 12 mm hex and that are the proper offsets for that car. I'll share a link. Those are available on my grabcad and maybe my Thingiverse as well, and you can get the link from my website directly. And so 3D printed in ABS, front and rear. You see the dimensions are not that different from a regular pan car, I think. The width of them, the diameter of them. Those tires are great. They do not have a long lifespan. I think I did a video with another car where I was using those sponges as well. But they grip really well, and I'm driving it on asphalt mostly. We don't really have a lot of carpet tracks around here, and yeah, so that's for the wheel. And so what did I do to get rid of all the nitro system? Used to have the fuel tank over here. This is where the engine was. I think that must have been where the throttle servo and brake servo was. And so what I did is I got these motor mounts from eBay, CNC motor mounts, that mounts where the nitro engine used to go, and mounted it there. And then I've designed and 3D printed a shorty lipo mount. You can see, so the shorty lipo will be here, a little bit offset because of the belt, but the weight balance isn't really, you really can't notice it when you're driving the car, so it doesn't seem to be imbalanced at all. Those poor foams, you see, they have suffered. And yeah, I've added some supports, because without those there is a lot of flex and the belts just pop up out of the car. And so you see a part of the kit, there was of course this spur mount here that you would put on the original axle that had the brake on one side. So you basically remove the braking system and remove everything and just put that little spool here. And yeah, I've just, I put a little bearing here to have the right belt tension over here, because the original car was the March. It was a little bit longer wheelbase, and I changed the chassis to the pan, so it's 210 now, and so the belt was too long, and instead of just getting a new belt, I just put those bearings just to get the right tension. So the belt is fine, front and rear, and thanks to those links here, there is no more, you can't bend the front and the rear anymore. It's all really rigid, and so the belts don't dislodge from where they are supposed to be attached. And so yeah, this car is really, I really like it. It's really different from the usual 112 or four-wheel drives that you see. You got a ball diff in the axle at the rear, solid axle in the front, and two belts. And I'm using a 120 amp ESC, Toro ESC, and a Speed Passion 10.5 turn censored motor. Power HD B2 in the front, 110 size. And I've made this little Lexan piece with the foam just... Oh yeah, and this Lexan piece is from the Lancia from Killer Buddy, I think. Little diffuser at the back. No idea if it does anything, but looks cool. So it's on there. And so yep, that is it. I'm really haven't seen much post about conversion of this Kyosho Spada online. Oh yeah, the last thing is, you see those, the suspension travel is ridiculously small. It's only basically F1 size springs in the front. You have about maybe 2 or 3 mm travel, and in the rear, inside the axle, have 2 other little springs here. So it's really, really stiff. But on the super flat track with this body on, it's an arrow. And so yeah, I'd be curious to see if other people have converted their nitro Spada, or if they're running it nitro, and if they have videos or something. There's really so little about this car online that I'll be curious to see more. And that would be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, get a little inspiration, and I will make some more videos soon, so stay safe. Bye bye everyone.